Yeah, absolutely. It's not going to end soon. And of course, one that's going to make a focal point on this show is Xavi Hernandez. We did mention him earlier, and now we have to discuss him because it's fresh. He will stay in Barcelona. He came out by himself earlier in the season, and he said he will leave. But now he's come out to say he'll stay after a meeting with Joan Laporta. Rotti, I begin to wonder what you make of this melodrama in Catalonia.
Well, I called it, I think during our last episode, or last two episodes, where I said I believe he's going to stay. It's just a no-brainer. He had to stay. Barcelona is his boyhood club, and leaving at this point to see a situation whereby they will be scouring for managers that are not up to that level or have a proper understanding of how the
club culture,
the club culture, and the transitioning from La Masia into the first team of Barcelona, which he did as a player. He's helping other players do at the moment, and he has brought in so many star players such as Kubasi at centre back, Lamine Yamal, who's doing exceptionally well, not just for Barcelona, also for the national team. And this is something I'm not a Barcelona fan, but we as football fans want to see growth of football players from the age of 16, 17, 15, if possible 14, getting into a first team football club and succeeding.
I think that's been an aspect that Barcelona have thrived, right? But their difficult financial situation is well documented, and that makes transfer dealings really difficult to execute too, especially considering that when you have that blend of youth, you also need experience to go with, you know, to achieve real success. You know, their arch rivals now, Real Madrid, are doing that sort of thing. How does Barcelona steer themselves away from that?
Well, for me, I would say that Xavi made a big mistake having to stay with Barcelona.
Really?
Yes, and that is because Barcelona is in a mess. Okay, if it were to be that maybe this was the Barcelona during the eras of when maybe we had the Enriquez, the Tata Martinos, things were better. But like you said, the financial difficulties, it's a stumbling block for them. And because of that, I feel it is going to hamper Xavi. And let's be realistic. Barcelona is a place where the environment is like a pressure cooker, right? Like there is no room for patience. Left to me, I would have said he should, as he was leaving, he's leaving with his head held high, that he's won the league this season despite all those difficulties, still being able to a top 4 finish, and also like Ronti mentioned, the players he has been able to bring up, the Yamals and all of that. It's going to be to his credit, and he moves elsewhere. But now coming to stay, it means that you want to be part of. You are going to be part of the mess.
No, that's interesting take by Kunle Faiga there. And let's also consider what Xavi has said in a press conference in the past. He says, and I quote, that the feeling of being a Barca coach is cruel. It's an unpleasant one, and there's a lot of disrespect, and it affects you until it leads to a decision like this one, like, wanting to leave the club. But now we're seeing that turnaround. In light of what Faiga said, Ronti, do you sort of agree that this is probably like a weird move for Xavi?
Well, it's only right for a legend to be the one who is going to clear up the mess in Barcelona. You can't have an outsider doing that clear up, because if you bring in an outsider...
Who wrote the rules?
Well, it
doesn't have to be a legend. No,
well, it's only right. It's not like a norm or a rule, but it's just only right. The whole situation, financial situation Barcelona find themselves in is because of Barcelona. It's not because of anybody. It's not because of Xavi. It's not because of any coach. They just wanted to transition from the talent breeding ground, which they are known to be, into the Galactico signing team.
Yeah,
we saw them sign Griezmann, Coutinho, Dembele,
and it failed.
And it failed massively. So if you're going to try and turn away from that and be successful at the same time, it's only right for you to convince a legend of the team who has an understanding of the club culture, who has his heart invested or his soul invested in the growth of the team. Because let's say the truth, Xavi is a fan of Barcelona. He's not just a coach, he's not just a former player, he's a fan of Barcelona. So he understands how the team is wired, and it's just only right he's the one who has to clear that mess up, because he can bring them back to the manuscript or the transcript of Johan Cruyff, who would have been 77 as at today.
No, I agree that all that could be beautiful if it works well, but we have to consider the future now.
Yeah,
you have to consider the future.
If it works well,
yeah,
it's
you have to
actually
consider the
working well.
future of the Barcelona fans won't tell you that they are going trophyless this season.
They won it. They won the La Liga season last season.
That was last season. Barcelona is one of them clubs that always want to win.
They got to the Champions League quarterfinal this season.
That may not be success for Barcelona
La Liga
faithful.
this season. So
that may not still be success. Who won? It was Real Madrid. So Real Madrid winning is still a big blow to them.
Yeah, it is. But
and by the stretch of points that they have now, which is about 12 points,
given their progression,
and losing both what's it called now? Losing both the El Clasicos, losing also in the Copa del Rey, a cup that they've been most successful in, and then they've gone to see Athletic Bilbao losing also against Paris Saint-Germain, who they did a famous La Remontada some seasons back. So these are the reasons why Barcelona faithfuls could come up and say, no, Rotti, look, we've not been successful this season.
I know I'm not the presenter here.
No, come on, it's not really about that.
I know I'm not the presenter here,
okay.
But if you were going to have a coach in Barcelona aside Xavi, who would it be?
Okay, there are options.
Yeah,
I mean, there are options on the market.
I just need one.
There's the Xavi, there's Thomas Tuchel, who could be on the market. There is Hansi Flick. There are names.
All these guys are going to come in and going to ask for a big budget.
Xavi, we've just said Xavi would need that budget too.
He would need the budget, but it's not going to be as massive as whoever is coming in. And it's the truth. That's just it.
Okay, but one thing I want to what I want you to do, Faiga, really, because we have to move on from this Barcelona topic, is now the project is where it is. They won the La Liga last season, like Ronte is saying, but this season has not been the same as the last, and it's not been successful, not by most means. So going forward, is agreed to stay. What are you expecting to see from Barcelona next season?
What I expect to see from Barcelona is to give Xavi all the patience and all the support he needs. If you don't give it to him, I wouldn't be surprised if mid-season he would also announce that he is staying. Because you need to understand, because Ronti is saying this thing of he's a legend. Yes, he understands the club, but this club that he built his legend status in was there was an enabling environment at that time. And that environment is not just there. So it's going to be difficult for him. And like I've said, Barcelona is a pressure cooker environment where there is just no room for patience. So if you don't give him the patience, I'm sorry, I just feel his time would probably just be like maybe Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at Manchester United.
Already it's better. I mean, he's won the league in Barcelona.
Yeah, he did.
There's no way to compare, famous PE teacher.
But what I was just trying to point out is, that
to
pressure.
Xavi Hernandez.
Yeah, no, but I'm just trying to let you understand that pressure.
But really, just for a close now, this is why for me, I like to avoid the nostalgia of going back to your club legend. And you have to try and make it work rather than really progress the club. I'm not saying it can't work, because it has worked in some instances, but really I think it's just best to avoid it.